My wife asked, "What will you do? Divorce me?" She never expected my answer. She said it with a smirk. A small, crooked, confident smirk that told me she believed she still held power over me. "What will you do? Divorce me?" The question lingered in the air like the smell of something burning. She stood in the kitchen doorway, arms crossed, almost daring me. I didn't respond, not immediately, because in that moment her words echoed in my skull, loud enough to drown the sound of the clock ticking, loud enough to slow my breath, loud enough to freeze something inside me. It wasn't the question, it was the tone. Mocking, playful, certain that I would stay. Certain that I would swallow whatever truth I hadn't yet uncovered. Certain that I loved her too much to walk away. She had no idea. My phone buzzed in my pocket at that exact moment, as if the universe wanted perfect timing. An unknown number, no name, just a single notification came through. You should check her phone and her location history. My fingers went numb. My heartbeat didn't speed up, it slowed down. Too slow. Dangerously calm. I looked at her again, the woman I had married, the woman I trusted, the woman who now stared at me like she already knew I wasn't going anywhere. But she was wrong. So wrong. Because the moment that message arrived, I felt something inside me shift. Quietly, brutally. What will I do? Not what she expected. Not this time. I simply whispered back, "Already did." And then I walked past her, picked up my keys, and left for work. At least that's where she thought I went. I drove in silence, no music, no radio, just the hum of the engine and the message playing again in my head like a fractured voice. Check her phone. Check her location history. Was it a joke? A mistake? A scam? I wanted it to be. But suspicion, it has a way of growing roots the moment it's planted. I replayed the past 3 weeks, every shift in her behavior, her new habit of keeping her phone face down, the sudden late nights at work, the scent of cologne on her jacket that wasn't mine, her new softness toward me, unearned, unusual, artificial. And then there were the pauses, those moments where she stared at nothing, like she was calculating something, rehearsing something, preparing for something. Betrayal never starts loud, it starts quietly. It starts in the silences between what people say. Still, I didn't want to believe it. I pulled over in a parking lot behind my office building, sat there, just breathing. Even then I told myself, maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe it's paranoia. Maybe the message was meant for someone else. But denial is just fear wearing a mask. I opened my laptop and pulled up our shared phone carrier account. She didn't know I still had access. Her call logs were clean. Too clean. No late-night numbers, no unknown contacts, no repeated calls, just a curated list. Almost perfect. Almost. One number appeared at the same time every day for 2 weeks, then disappeared. I copied it, ran it through a reverse lookup search. My throat tightened when I saw the result. Her supervisor. Her married supervisor. Suddenly her smirk made sense. Her confidence made sense. And the message? It wasn't a warning. It was confirmation. Something was very, very wrong. I didn't confront her. Confrontation is emotional, messy, uncontrolled. Instead, I decided to study her, like a stranger, like a threat. That night, when she came home, she kissed my cheek like nothing was wrong. Her hands were warm, too warm, guilty warm. She cooked dinner, humming softly. I watched her move, every gesture rehearsed, every smile shaped perfectly. She didn't see me watching. She didn't notice the distance growing between us. But I felt it, sinking deeper and deeper. After she fell asleep, I unlocked her phone with the passcode she didn't know I knew. Everything was erased. Messages, call logs, location history. Perfect, flawless erasure. Too perfect. But deletion leaves fingerprints behind. And her cloud backup hadn't synced yet. One mistake. I opened it, found the deleted folder, found the truth. Hidden locations, coordinates, a hotel, 2 towns away, multiple check-ins, same times the deleted calls were made to her supervisor. Still, I needed more. Truth should never be based on assumption. Truth must be caught. So over the next week, I crafted a quiet plan, a digital trap, a mirrored backup of her phone, a tracker hidden in her car's USB port, a location alert triggered by the hotel's address. And then I waited. Waiting wasn't painful. Waiting was power. Every hour that passed made my mind sharper, my emotions colder, my resolve firmer. 3 days later, at 6:48 p.m., my phone buzzed. Your wife has arrived at her frequent location. I didn't rush. I drove slowly, calmly. When I reached the hotel, I didn't go inside. I already knew I wouldn't find her alone. Instead, I parked across the street, watched the lobby doors, watched shadows, watched her silhouette appear beside him, smiling the kind of smile she stopped giving me months ago. They walked out together. His hand brushed her lower back. She didn't push it away. That was all I needed. Not fury, not tears, not shouting, just confirmation. As I watched them drive away, something inside me settled. Not broken, not numb. Clear. Perfectly, terrifyingly clear. She thought she was 2 steps ahead. She had no idea I was already miles beyond her. I chose my moment carefully. The next morning I made breakfast like normal. She came downstairs wearing my shirt like she always did when she wanted to appear loving. She kissed my cheek again, light and soft. Fake softness. "Morning," she whispered. I looked at her like she was a stranger walking through my home. She didn't notice. After breakfast, I placed a white envelope on the table between us. She frowned. "What's this?" "Open it." Calm, steady, unshaking. She slid the papers out, expecting, I don't know, something small, something harmless. She wasn't prepared for the photographs, the screenshots, the GPS logs, the deleted messages restored from her own cloud. I watched her face shift, shock hitting first, then panic, then fear. Her breathing quickened, her hands trembled. She opened her mouth, but no sound came out. I didn't yell, didn't cry, didn't accuse. I simply asked one question. Is there anything here that isn't true? She broke, literally folded. Tears rushed out instantly, not remorseful tears, but terrified ones. "Please, please, it wasn't what you think. It was complicated. I didn't mean." She kept talking. I kept listening. But inside, something was already gone. Detached. Quiet. When she realized I wasn't reacting, wasn't exploding, wasn't arguing, her panic rose higher. "Say something," she screamed. So I did. I already filed for divorce 3 days ago. Silence. Complete. Suffocating. Her world cracked open in front of me, and I remained still. Because the truth didn't require noise. The truth only needed to be seen. She grabbed my wrist, desperate, shaking. "You can't do this. We can fix it. We can work through this." Work through betrayal? Work through lies? Work through a year of deception? She didn't understand. She never did. Revenge didn't mean destroying her. Revenge meant letting her destroy herself. I picked up a second envelope. Thicker, heavier. "This one," I said, "is for your supervisor." Her eyes widened. "No, no, please don't involve him. He has a family. He'll lose everything." He already did, I said softly. You just don't know it yet. I had delivered a copy of the evidence to his wife earlier that morning. No confrontation, just truth, handed quietly. His world would be burning right now, and she knew it. You planned this? She whispered, horrified. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. She collapsed into a chair, sobbing, shaking, repeating my name like it was a lifeline she no longer deserved. You're supposed to fight for me, she cried. I stood, collected my jacket, my keys, my last bit of emotion for her. I did, I said, for years. I walked to the door, paused. She lifted her head, eyes red, waiting for a miracle, for forgiveness I didn't have. For what it's worth, I said quietly, you're right about one thing. She swallowed. What? You thought I wouldn't divorce you. A long silence. Then, you were wrong. And I closed the door behind me, slowly, deliberately, letting the sound of the latch become the final sentence of our marriage. I didn't look back. Not once. People think heartbreak is loud, shouting, crying, begging. But the real kind, the deep, final kind, it's silent. I drove with the windows down, cold morning air cutting across my face. Not refreshing, not cleansing, just clarifying. I pulled into the parking lot near the lake, the place I used to sit before we were married. The place where I thought about the future. The place where I convinced myself that love meant endurance. Now it just felt like a place where I finally woke up. I watched the water move in slow ripples, calm, unaffected by storms above it. I wanted that. Maybe in some quiet way, I already had it. She would tell her story differently. Victimhood always sounds noble when told by the guilty. But I didn't need to defend myself. I didn't need to explain. The truth didn't need my voice. I sat there for a long time, letting the numbness settle into acceptance. The last thought I had of her was not bitter, not angry, just final. She asked me what I would do. I answered. I left. And as the sun rose over the lake, I understood something important. Sometimes, the coldest revenge is simply walking away without leaving a trace of who you used to be. That was the last gift I ever gave her, the last piece of myself she would ever touch. And it felt like freedom.